I was staring at a half-empty bottle of wine when my phone started vibrating off the nightstand. It was a FaceTime audio call. The caller ID made me freeze. It was Aunt Brenda. I hadn't seen or spoken to this woman in 10 years. I picked up, my heart already hammering against my ribs. Her voice was shrill, borderline hysterical. Chloe! Oh my god, Chloe! It's your mom and dad. Something happened. You need to get your ass back here now. Before I could even choke out a what, the line went dead. Just the cold, hollow beep of a disconnected call. What the hell happened? Say something, you lunatic. I dialed back immediately, straight to voicemail. My hands were shaking so bad I dropped my phone twice before dialing my parents. Dad? Straight to voicemail. Mom? Phone off. 20 calls later, silence. That's when the panic truly set in, cold and sharp. I didn't even pack. I threw my laptop in a bag, called my boss to demand a week of compassionate leave, and sprinted to JFK. My hometown, a rusty little nowhereville in Ohio, was 1,000 miles away from my life in New York. To save time, I didn't wait for a direct connection. I took a flight to Cleveland, a Greyhound bus to the county line, and finally hitched a ride in a stranger's beat-up pickup truck. It took me 24 hours of hell to get to their front porch. It was 10 p.m. when I burst through the front door, looking like a wreck and smelling like stale bus seats. But I didn't see paramedics. I didn't see blood. I saw my Aunt Brenda sitting on my parents' couch eating my dad's chips, and sitting right next to her were my parents, looking confused but very much alive. Brenda didn't even ask if I was okay. She just wiped crumb dust on her jeans and said, "Finally, look, I need to borrow 50 grand. The adrenaline crash hit me like a freight train." She lied to me. My nerves, which had been stretched thin for a whole day, snapped. The rage that boiled up in my chest was hot enough to melt steel. "Are you fucking kidding me?" My voice cracked. "You told me my parents were dying just to trick me into coming back here for money?" I looked at my parents, then at her. I was exhausted. "Get out. I'm not lending you a dime. Get the hell out of my house." "Is that how you talk to your elders?" Brenda stood up, putting her hands on her hips, channeling full Karen energy. "You don't even say hello? No respect." I laughed. A dry, humorless sound. "Respect? You faked a family tragedy to grift money from me. Why would I respect you? You ungrateful little—" She stammered, realizing logic wasn't on her side. So she switched tactics. She threw herself on the floor. I'm not joking. A grown woman, wailing and kicking her legs like a toddler in a Walmart candy aisle. "Oh, my life is so hard. My family hates me." I stared at her. Was she for real? Before I could start swinging, my mom grabbed my arm and whispered, "Chloe, don't. Brenda's desperate. Her husband got drunk and bragged about how rich you are. She thinks your annual bonus was huge." Brenda sat up, wiping fake tears. "I know you're making big city money now, Chloe. You think you're better than us poor folks? Seeing your own flesh and blood suffer and you won't even lift a finger? Helping out?" I scoffed. "Asking for $50,000 isn't asking for a cup of sugar, Brenda." I glared at her. "We haven't spoken in 10 years, and the first thing you do is demand cash? You're delusional. My family wasn't rich growing up. My parents scraped every penny to put me through grad school. But apparently word got out that dad had a few drinks with an old buddy and bragged about my promotion. Suddenly the woodworks were full of roaches. People I barely knew were showing up asking for loans or trying to set me up with their loser nephews. But Brenda took the cake. Faking a death? That's next level psycho. Dad, ever the peacemaker, tried to smooth things over. "Brenda, it's not that we don't want to help, but Chloe is saving for a condo." Brenda's jaw dropped. A condo? A girl buying a house? That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. People will laugh their asses off. That struck a nerve. I pulled my arm away from my mom. "Aunt Brenda," I said, voice icy, "I make my own money. I spend it how I want. I don't need a lecture from someone who can barely pay her cable bill." Brenda sneered, flashing yellow teeth. She turned to my dad, putting on a fake, sympathetic face. "Hank, I'm just looking out for you. Daughters? They're just money-losing goods. Once you get old, she's gonna run off with some guy and leave you to rot." I cut her off.